There is always the version of a story that reaches the public, polished and carefully framed. And then there is the private version that unfolds behind closed doors. In moments of crisis, especially when cameras are involved, the difference between those two versions can feel enormous. What people often see is composure, steady voices, and thoughtfully chosen words. What they do not see is the exhaustion, the waiting, and the deeply human fear that exists beneath the surface. In times like these, it becomes important to slow down and remember that public figures are still daughters, sons, parents, and partners before they are anything else. The narrative that spreads quickly online rarely captures the full emotional landscape of what a family is experiencing, and sometimes the quiet strength people admire most is simply a person doing their best not to fall apart in front of the world. A career built over decades. At 54, Savannah Guthrie stands at a point in life that many would describe as established. After decades of demanding work in broadcast journalism, she has built a respected and recognizable career. She has navigated the pressures of national television, balanced professional responsibilities with raising children, and maintained a public presence that requires both authority and warmth. Morning television is not gentle work. It demands preparation before dawn, emotional range, and constant adaptability. Over the years, she has handled interviews, breaking news, and complex national conversations with steadiness. By this stage in life, many people hope for a sense of stability, a feeling that the hardest proving years are behind them. It is a season when professional identity feels settled. Yet life does not always honor timelines. Personal challenges can arrive without warning, reshaping even the most carefully built foundations in ways no career success can prevent. When personal crisis becomes public, when a family emergency intersects with public life, the emotional weight multiplies. A private fear suddenly exists under bright lights. In such moments, there is no space to process quietly before the world begins asking questions. Loved ones become headlines, and uncertainty becomes a topic of national discussion. For someone accustomed to reporting the news, becoming part of it is disorienting. There is the responsibility to protect family privacy while also acknowledging public concern. There is the instinct to remain composed, to avoid speculation, to choose language carefully. Yet beneath all of that professionalism is something far simpler: worry. The kind that makes sleep difficult and stretches minutes into hours. When viewers see calm statements and measured appeals, they may interpret them as effortless strength. More often, that composure is the result of discipline learned over years, a way of coping when emotions threaten to overwhelm. The weight of family bonds. A daughter's relationship with her mother is rarely simple. It is built over decades of shared routines, disagreements, encouragement, and lessons passed down quietly in kitchens and living rooms. Parents shape the emotional vocabulary their children carry into adulthood. They teach resilience, sometimes intentionally and sometimes without realizing it. So in many families, strength becomes a central value. The idea that difficult feelings should be managed privately and responsibilities handled without complaint. That philosophy can produce capable, driven adults. It can also create people who struggle to show vulnerability, even when they desperately need support in moments of crisis. Those early lessons resurface automatically. The impulse is to handle what must be handled, to stay steady for others, to present calm, even when fear sits just beneath the surface. Family bonds are powerful. They provide identity and direction, but they can also quietly shape how someone believes love is earned and expressed. Strength as identity. For individuals who have built their lives around competence, strength becomes more than a trait. It becomes identity. The ability to stay composed under pressure is praised repeatedly, reinforced by colleagues and audiences alike. Over time, that reinforcement can create an internal standard that feels non-negotiable. Falling apart may seem like failure rather than humanity. In highly visible professions, this pattern intensifies. Cameras reward clarity and control. Public trust grows when emotions appear measured. Yet even the most practiced composure has a cost. Holding everything together requires energy, especially when the stakes are personal. The public may see grace. The person living it may feel constant vigilance. The challenge is not simply managing external events, but managing internal reactions as well. Strength, when practiced long enough, can feel automatic. But beneath that automatic response is still a human being who experiences fear, grief and uncertainty just like anyone else, the silence between statements. What the public rarely witnesses are the hours between official updates. Those stretches of time can feel endless. Phones are checked repeatedly. Every notification carries potential meaning. Conversations with investigators, family members, and close friends unfold privately, away from microphones. It is during these quieter hours that emotions tend to surface most honestly. Without the structure of a prepared message, there is room for doubt, for imagining different outcomes, for wrestling with questions that have no immediate answers. For someone accustomed to solving problems through action, waiting can feel unbearable. The mind replays possibilities, searching for clarity. Loved ones attempt to offer comfort, though they too are navigating uncertainty. In these unseen spaces, composure softens. Tears may come and go. Strength looks less like performance and more like endurance, simply getting through another day without definitive news, public support, and private reality. When a crisis becomes widely known, messages of support arrive in waves. Strangers write kind words, communities offer prayers and encouragement. That collective compassion can be genuinely comforting. It reminds a family that they are not alone. Yet public support does not eliminate private fear. Encouragement exists alongside unanswered questions. Each hopeful message carries the quiet understanding that outcomes are still uncertain. For someone in the public eye, gratitude becomes part of their response. Acknowledging support feels important and sincere, but gratitude and anxiety often coexist. One does not cancel out the other. It is possible to feel deeply moved by kindness while also feeling overwhelmed by circumstances. The human heart is capable of holding both. In these moments, what appears outwardly as unwavering strength is often a careful balance between appreciation for community and the very personal ache of not knowing what comes next. Love, expectations, and unspoken questions. In many families, love is expressed through high expectations. Parents push their children to excel, believing that preparation and discipline will protect them in a demanding world. Over time, those expectations can become intertwined with identity. Achievement feels natural. Rest feels earned only after accomplishment. Even in adulthood, a subtle question may linger beneath success. Am I enough without proving myself? That question is rarely dramatic. It does not always demand attention. It simply hums quietly in the background of life decisions and reactions to stress. During a crisis involving a parent, those unspoken questions can resurface. The desire to handle everything well may feel deeply personal. It is not about public approval. It is about honoring the lessons received growing up. And yet, beneath that drive is something tender, the simple longing for reassurance that love has never depended on performance at all. The human need for reassurance. No matter how accomplished someone becomes, there remains a fundamental human need to feel loved without conditions. Titles, awards, and professional respect do not replace that need. In fact, high achievement can sometimes mask it. People who appear most self-sufficient often carry the same quiet hopes as everyone else, to be valued simply for existing. During times of uncertainty, that hope intensifies. A daughter wants her mother safe, of course, but she may also want something less visible, the chance to hear words that confirm what has always been true. That reassurance does not require eloquence. It does not require perfect timing. It is simple and direct. You matter. You are loved. You have always been enough. Those words, spoken plainly, can soften years of internal pressure. They remind even the strongest individuals that they are not defined solely by how well they endure hardship. Remembering the person behind the headline. In moments like these, it is easy for the public to focus on timelines, investigations, and official updates. Those details matter. They shape understanding and guide hope. But behind every headline is a family navigating complex emotions in real time. Behind every composed statement is a person balancing professionalism with personal fear, remembering that humanity changes the way we witness the story. It invites compassion rather than speculation. It encourages patience rather than judgment. At its core, this situation is not about performance or public image. It is about love, uncertainty, and the deep bonds between parent and child. Whatever the outcome, the most important truths remain simple. Strength does not eliminate vulnerability. and even the most capable individuals deserve comfort. In times of crisis, what matters most is not flawless composure, but the steady presence of care, hope, and unconditional love.